Respected District Judge Ashok Menon sir, my dear students and the entire ICD team, good evening. Most of the time, we discuss about the things that we do not know. You all know that education has got two fronts. I happened to listen to a very brief speech of 2 minutes by Ashok Menon sir. It was during my friend's Mr. Mohan Raj's father's commemoration speech, annual day speech. It was just for 2 minutes that he spoke on that occasion. But the next day or so, I called up my friend and asked. I wanted my students to listen to him, but it took some time for things to materialize. I too had some kind of an hesitation to approach a judicial officer, but the day has come. It is a great chance, not just for you, even for me. It's a great chance to all of you to listen to the words of wisdom by Ashok Menon sir, and he has given consent to have an interactive session too. I'm very sure that after the speech you have questions reserved to ask. That too will be an education to us, an elucidation to us. I expect that all of you will enjoy the session. On behalf of my students, ICD team, and personally on my behalf, I welcome the Honorable Judge.
Which you are all used to every day. So my duty is not to lecture. I'm not having any materials with me to give a long lecture. I'm just going to share certain of my experience with law. We all know that Kerala is a literate state with nearly 100% literacy and too much of education. It is often said that Keralites are overeducated and underemployed because in my office, most of my peons are postgraduates. So that is the state of affairs in Kerala. But despite the education, despite the literacy, I always felt that we were not so much aware of laws. It is often said, and you all must have heard also, that ignorance of law is not excusable. Ignorantia law non excusat. So we are all expected to know what are the existing laws in our country. We are supposed to abide by them. But what is law? It is a very expensive, very extensive subject which is impossible for a common man to comprehend. That is why you have to depend on lawyers to represent your case before a court of law. because it is very difficult to understand the intricacies, the loopholes in law so that you can get away with it. How did these laws come into existence? It is actually the rules made by the ruling section to control their people, their subjects. Because unless you have a rule, you will not be able to control your subjects. So I'm here before you to interact with you. At the very outset, I may also thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to spend some time with you and to interact with you. I invite you to interact with me very freely, clear your doubts. I may not be able to clear all your doubts readily because law is actually a very wide subject, and I confess that I am no encyclopedia, but whatever experience I have gained in the field of judiciary as a judge, I may be able to clear some of your doubts, the common man's doubt regarding law. That is why I would like to have an interaction with you, and you may put questions which lingers in your mind and clarify that. Thank you.
The program depends on the vibrance that you're going to show. So ensure that you ask questions in right spirit, and question may be asked by one person, but the answer is meant for all. So listen with keen ears and very strong interest.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And this is Kritika, and it's a pleasure to be a part of the session. And I do have a couple of questions for you. And can I get ahead?
Good.
Like,
Yes, please.
yeah, okay. My first question is, if I'm getting arrested today for any reason, and may I know the rules, what should be taken, like for procedures to be taken before arresting me? And what are the rights do I have while being getting arrested?
See, please sit down, I'll tell you. See, arresting by the police is actually, there are two things. I'm not going to get deep into the legal procedural wrangles because procedure is actually very cumbersome. But you can understand, there are bailable and non-bailable offenses in our country. Bailable offense means an offense where you are entitled to get bail as of right. And non-bailable means as of right you are not entitled to get bail. Similarly, there are offenses where you can be arrested without a warrant. There are offenses where you cannot be arrested without a warrant. There are two types of offenses. So as it would suggest, when a person can be arrested without a warrant, it is naturally a grievous offense, isn't it? So it is the duty of a policeman, because a normal person, he may not know whether it is a bailable offense, it's a non-bailable offense, whether the policeman can arrest you with a warrant, without a warrant. All these things he may not know. So it is his duty to explain to you what offense exactly you have done, under what provision of law, what is the law that you have infringed, and explain to you to what extent you are liable under that particular provision, and also tell you whether it is bailable or non-bailable. All these things he is expected to explain to you. But as you know, that our police may sometimes are not very friendly, as we have seen in English movies where the police immediately on arrest explains it to the person that you have committed so-and-so offense, you are entitled to bail, you are entitled to engage a lawyer, and all that. But our police are little uncouth about that. The first thing that they will do is shower abuses on you immediately on arrest. So they are little uncouth about that. But nowadays we have, as I told you, the Janamai 3 police, which they are supposed to be more friendly, take the people into confidence. And so, in case you're arrested, you are expected to know what wrong you have done, under what provisions you have violated, whether you are entitled to get a bail. And as of right, you are entitled to engage a lawyer, definitely, to approach. And on arrests, the police are supposed to produce a person before a magistrate, the nearby magistrate, within 24 hours. A person is not supposed to be detained for more than 24 hours in police custody. So immediately he is supposed to be produced before a magistrate after the formalities are over, and you can apply for bail if it is a bailable offense. If it is a bailable offense, you need not even produce before the magistrate. The police himself can grant you bail. That is the situation. Anything more you want to clarify?